Hey guys, TomBoy601, and today we're taking a look at the Navarin, another one of those, hey, go test out these premiums ships that Wargaming kind of surprised us with when this update dropped. This one, kind of unique, the only battleship among the group, and a very interesting one at that. One, it's a Soviet battleship, but it's a Soviet secondary focused battleship, which is very odd. We don't have any of those in this game. As far as the design goes, it's also a sort of unique layout. It's kind of the pre-war dreadnought layout, much like, I guess, the German battle cruisers. It's something sort of along that philosophy of build. 3 4-barreled guns. Those guns are 16 inches, 406s, and they can pack a punch. With each shell being able to do 11,000 AP damage. So overall, a very, very interesting package. Now, just because what we see today is what's in the game, it doesn't mean it'll be what comes to the game. As we talked about before, this is a vessel that is in test. So Wargaming can crunch the numbers and go, actually, this one's a little overcooked. We're going to go ahead and dial it back, or maybe they decide to put it in a different way. We will just kind of have to wait and see. As far as our build goes, we are running Kedrov, who used to be sort of my main Russian battleship commander, and this brings up another point of wanting individual loadouts for ships, because in order to make this ship work with its focus, for at least the free-to-play players, you will have to sort of sacrifice your build on your other Russian battleships if you want Navarin to work the way it should be working, which is very annoying, especially when it's sort of the oddball ship, or if it comes out and it's the campaign ship. Do you really want to change around your build for the rest of the line if you don't have a Zerlane, Sovietsy, or yeah. Anyways, first salvo is out. It's looking decent. One thing to note here is we did fire that salvo as the Hawk got to the very edge of our max firing range. When you do that, you usually don't have a very good chance of hitting anyone, especially if they're moving away. Hawk wasn't quite doing that, but he was still right on the edge of our firing range, and that means that max, the ellipse of where your shells will land, won't center correctly, so it kind of checks out that first shot there. Anyways, we're pushing into the center section here. The main reason being Navarin is a very tanking ship. It's a very interesting build out, but it still suffers from Russian raised citadel syndrome. It still suffers from can easily get punched through. So we're kind of wanting to use this island for cover, but also with the sort of new spawn layout that has occurred on this map, we want to push into the middle here. Now that the spawns are much more spread out, you see a lot of clumping on that outside island like you see with our team. We want to be in this count. We want to contest it, and that is because, well, as we talked about before, we are a secondary focused battleship, and you're going to see our secondaries start to go off here. And I guess we should go ahead and talk about those secondaries. You have 34 180 millimeter guns. They reload in 6 seconds. With our build that has secondary battery in the first slot, and then Kedrov with Von Hipper and Haruna, along with Porcupine, you know, the usual sort of secondary battery build, we're looking at 11.1 kilometers of range, which is incredibly respectable, and then a 9% chance to set fire. So overall, pretty decent secondaries. They're not, you're going to see they do decent tick damage. I think the chance of fire is pretty good, and overall, it's a very respectable ship. I think the accuracy is a little rough on them, but you know, you can't have everything, right? You can't be winning every single thing. I guess we should also talk about the main guns at this point. We did mention that they are 406s, 16-inch guns, 15.1 kilometer range, and the firing angles of them are very interesting. As you can see, we have 1 turret on the nose, 2 in the back. Now, initially, like when I got myself into this position, because I was like, oh, this will be a good way to be able to fire, because, you know, two turrets in the back. I thought the ones in the rear were super firing. They are not. As you can see, if you have a ship directly off your stern, you can only shoot one at a time. But still, this allows you to angle incredibly well as we pick up the kill on the Kutuzov there and start to reposition ourselves for this Suzuya, who is doing a very good job of setting us on fire. Thankfully, we do have a bunch of the damage control parties. This is being treated like a traditional Russian battleship, not like Borodino with the non-traditional damage control party unlimited setup. I wish we could have seen the Suzuya there as we pick up 2 citadels and then finish them off with the second one there. But that brings us up to our second kill, and we have this Rune, who is, I'm going to call it, sort of our sister ship. Not really, but has the same turret sort of layout. And he was giving us a little grief earlier in the game, and now that our team is sort of focusing him, we are going to be able to finish him off. All in all, I think the Navarin is a pretty respectable ship. I guess we didn't talk about the one other huge thing, the armor on this ship. It is incredibly strong. 31 millimeter bow, 113 millimeter icebreaker. The deck is 35 millimeters. The side plating at the base near the citadel is 125 millimeters, and then it gets to 35 and 32 millimeters. So coated in at least 32 millimeters of armor, pretty much all over. This thing is a tank. It does still suffer from that citadel syndrome of Russian battleships that, you know, they can just kind of explode if you're not careful, if you're not minding your business. But I think this is a great little Russian brawler battleship. I think overall it's fairly well balanced. It felt very susceptible, as you saw, to the Suzuya right there. It felt very susceptible to large caliber HE spam. You know, the limited number of damage control parties means it can be burnt out relatively easily, or, you know, with a little bit of focus. The large citadel means if you push in too far, you're going to be you push into a crossfire, you're going to get just absolutely deleted with a crossfire. I think the ship is in a pretty good spot balance wise, so I don't expect very many changes, and I look forward to this, what I am going to assume being a campaign ship, given that it's tier 8. I think people will enjoy it. I don't have any real criticisms other than for the fact that, like, you know, we don't have individualized builds for each ship, or commander builds for each ship, so we did have to kind of murder our Kedrov in order to build out for this. But beyond that, overall, very respectable as this Tirpitz begins to push in. Once this goes down, it's pretty much the end of the game. You can see our team now controls all of the points on the map, and the enemy team has chosen not to really do anything else. This mine's CE, staying nice in that range, and, well, there isn't going to be much fun. But overall, like I said, guys, I think this is a great ship. I look forward to it coming into the game. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you like videos like this, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See ya.